Hi everybody, welcome back to part 2 of Materia D&D session 149, where we play D&D our way, and the Crass Menagerie had a morning to head back from the Sunlit Spire into West Green proper, where accompanied by Pew Lamb, Opal 14, and other various members of the Heralds of Exploration, the Cryptic Keeper, wow, ooh, I forgot the organization. Cryptic collectors and and others have been waiting for them, and they've had a discussion about the 6 various dig sites that are of current concern across the sprawling lands of the open plains. And it's only the open part of the open plains that is close to the border of Cled. There is much more open plains on the other side. However, that is firmly held territory by the Pack of the Sacrament, a blood-driven group that seemingly follows the will of their fallen queen and is led by her younger daughter, or Benta. And this group, well, we're about to discuss about them and other things. So my players were kind enough to roll me a series of dices so that I could sort of pre-game and establish what possible encounters they will see, what to expect at the certain ruins. And there are, like I mentioned, 6 in total. There is one at the very top northwest of the map, and that one is the closest to Pack territory. Then there's one in the jungles nearby. There's another one in the hills, and then slipping over to the south, there is one in the canyons and crevasses of the mountain range. There is another one within the spaces between the little rivers, and then there is one that is close to the border with Cled, and actually not too far away from the beginnings of the swamplands again. So, that being said, the group is gathered. Nevesk is kind of being quiet at this point. Bodhi has been telling them the various layouts and concerns of what is happening at the different dig sites. To establish an understanding, every dig site is active. There are individuals from the Heralds, the Heralds of Exploration, the Alabaster Museum, and the College of Fascinations, all working together alongside with individuals that are hired to be bodyguards, protectors, deterrents, and of course, as there is the working with the cryptic collectors, there are some individuals from that organization that perhaps do some of the more dangerous explorations within the unknown portions of the ruins. So, at the Fat Goose, the map laid beside you, the map peppered with these little markers indicating all these villages and all these townships that are no longer, as the pack has raided and pillaged, harvested people, taking them back deep within pack territory to do who knows with it. You heard information and rumors and details that, well, that beyond beyond the safe space that's within their proper territories, that the land is twisting, the land is warping, that the amount of blood that is being spilled naturally and heavily implied unnaturally is changing the land, that there is something well, to use a holy term, blasphemous going on beyond and deep inside the heart of the open plains. The main concern about the individuals that you have agreed to assist is that these objects, these relics, these libraries, these tomes, all this forgotten knowledge and history, while most of it will prove to be mundane, as the Menagerie has encountered with an origin point back in the vaults, the Alabaster Vaults, there are some things that can, well, change reality, warp the environment, like literally, well, possibly even sunder the world. And this is the biggest concern, because if the pack is indeed pillaging and raiding and gathering objects that they do not know, and they may uncover something that it would, well, endanger everyone on this continent, and if not the continent, perhaps even the world. So,
I have a
well,
question.
yes.
So let's assume it is discovered by the pack that we are essentially extricating people out of these sites. Would they be likely to start clamping down on the ones that they're aware of, or like what's the risk of us?
Well,
Basically, if we go to the ones that they may be patrolling or they may have some, eyes on, would that start to put the other ones at greater risk?
well, it's certainly a possibility. We are fortunate that most of the sites that we are currently speaking of are not in their immediate purview.
Right.
The hope is, when we leave a site, that whatever is left there will be of little to no value for them. I know that doesn't necessarily answer your question in this term, but that's the best answer I can provide. It is difficult to say how this group will react.
Okay.
What their motivations are seemingly, well, it's shrouded in some rumors and mysteries. But and as he says, but the door opens. The previous dwarven individual that you had discussed with comes in, scratching his right butt cheek with a little bit of a limp, and it's Rafa, the other dwarf. He's like, "Yeah, told you my directions would get them to you." And he smiles at Pew Lamb. He's like, "All right, so sorry I'm late. Still
Smarts a bit.
injured. Oh yeah, definitely smarts.
Good to have you.
Yep, good to be here. So, did I miss all the juicy bits, or
They were just
discussion?
giving us the kind of the lay of the land out here, just kind of where the targets are, and a little
If you
bit
like
about
maps,
them.
if you like maps, you missed everything.
I do like maps.
Inside check. Does he like maps?
It's a make or break for Davis.
24.
He
Is he a
likes
good man?
maps.
Good.
Yeah.
Alright. He's
He's
a
very-
Wait. Well,
Mm.
yeah.
I don't murder him.
I don't murder him immediately.
What,
So,
Elvis?
Murder is a choice.
Wait, Mover, come take a look at this one.
It's like, oh, you like maps? Name all of their albums.
So, as Rafa walks in, he's like, Bodhi, who was speaking, says, "Well, let's go figure you come in at perfect time. I take it you've met Rafa already."
Oh yeah, he told us all about Orbenta and the fam, and their dastardly
Go figure.
deeds, and yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Rafa is one of those few that are able to gather information on what is actually going on deep within the land. As if it was meant to be, he's here to discuss some more. So, as I was saying, it's hard for us to pinpoint and understand what are the motivations and how they will react. However, Rafa can shed some light into this. Sits down, takes a moment because of his limp, puts his leg. He looks at Tane, and Tane kind of scoots over one of the chairs. He's like, "Thank you," and he puts his leg up there. He's like, "All right. So, our opposition, our threat to the west is, they're fucking insane, to be fair, but how do I put this? They believe, based on what the queen was originally convinced and then later passed on to her daughter and her followers, that to appease the lands and to understand its secrets, it must be nourished and fed. They have extruded this and warped this into, well, the senseless slaughtering and butchering and bleeding, quite literally, of these lands. In a sick way, they believe the more they feed the land blood, the more the land will assist them in finding out the secrets. Now, it's pretty safe to say that most of the people that follow don't even know what's really going on. They just have a group and a nation now that allows them to act on all of their impulses. But there are those that still.
Almost done. Sorry, guys.
You're good, man.
Oh,
No
good.
worries.
Take your time.
But there are those, as with any large group, that are guiding the hands and pulling the strings, and those individuals very well know what values and mysteries are strewed upon the plains, and whether they believe that soaking the land with crimson is indeed appeasing the spirits and the gods, whatever may lay within the plains or not, it does not matter. But that is at least the practice that they are following. So, it's hard to say how they'll actually react when a site gets abandoned. If that's what you wanted me to say, that's what I got to say.
Yeah, it helps.
Yeah. So,
I'll just.
unfortunately, when you guys are. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, Davis, just to give his take. He's like, well, initially, without really having any idea how they'd react, my initial idea was try to start as close to danger as possible, but go in as quietly and carefully, and then work away from it. Better to have our first spot be real close to danger before they know we're coming, than have it be the last spot we have to go and they're fully aware that that's what we're doing. But I don't know if that's changed now because of any of this stuff, but that was my first idea.
I like that. There might be word spreading with Thriston Day, but that's just potential at this point. I do agree that the earlier on we we're able to start making some progress, I think that's our big step. Yeah. But also, since there's 3 north and 3 south, I think we should weigh out the second and third dig sites if we're going that far. It's a lot of time to double back.
Sorry, go ahead.
For clarity, Pew will speak up and say, listen, you will go to some of these locations, and then myself, Opal, 14, and a couple others will go to the other ones. We don't expect you to. There's days and days of travel between all these locations.
Fair.
You must understand.
Yeah.
Time is somewhat relevant here. It is on the essence. We know that you can function incredibly well as a unit and as a group, and therefore we have confidence in your good deeds back home and in the tales that people have said that you are more than capable of self-regulating the group as the Crass Menagerie and assisting us in this task.
Thank you. After seeing the lot of you in battle, I could say the same. But I do like this idea of splitting up. I think if we're trying to take a more stealthy approach and be harder to track, that is a good solution.
With that, by all means, apologies for interrupting, Ben. What were you?
I'm gonna look at Cielo and go, ask Light. You would know, Cielo. This means me communing with the goddess.
I mean, you can ask how much. I mean, it's worth asking, I guess. Yeah.
Explain. And when I do that, I kind of like spread my arm to everyone.
He's asking the sun. Don't worry about it.
Good man.
Don't worry about
Did
it.
besides besides the Eastern Bow, did Sej give us any kind of sun salute or prayer?
I think there was the position of his hand, but that was maybe the only thing I could think of. Do you remember, Donnie?
Was it a gesture?
It was like a Hamza. He would like put his hand out, just his palm, like right in front of him.
He didn't give us
Okay.
a sun salute, but he bent over, pulled his pants down, and gave us a full moon.
Yeah.
It's one of those. Alright. As I mentioned, the sun. Al stands in his seat, turns around, pulls. No, no. He'll put his hand out,
Okay.
close his eyes, and be like, "I remember the sun. I've seen the sun before."
So.
I don't know if he's actually looking at the sun. I don't.
Doesn't
Well,
matter. Al heard
actually,
something. He's like, "Oh, sun."
There,
Yes.
his version of the light, not the actual sun.
Understood. So, all right. You'll get from Bodhi and also from Obo. Go for it. Do as you need. It is nice to know that the steward of the Northern Temple has joined this excursion. Unexpected. Curious how he was convinced. But
I mean,
so one of the titles that Ben has established over the year here is Steward of the Temple. You would have heard it around town.
I mean, it was pretty convincing, I guess.
I mean, after spending a day with him in a temple, he seems very helpful in caring for the for West Green, just the people in general. So I'll look at Ben just to protect the people.
You get a big grin from Ben.
Get a big grin back. Yep. Driving
So
horse.
you need me ask Goddess for direction? Where to go first?
What's the best direction to go first, or something?
Yeah,
Sure.
it's got my vote.
Because
Whenever
right
Sej
now
does
we're
that.
kind of torn between these points that we want
Well,
to go to.
Davis say something about order due for secrets.
Yeah, exactly.
What's the word?
Secrecy, stealth, just being.
Oh, stealth. And I point to Cielo.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
Very good. Exactly.
Stealth's not going to be a problem.
Well.
So you need.
But for me,
you need me ask?
Sure. I think that'd be great. Could you?
Yes. 3 question answer. What first question?
Hey, real quick, Ben. I know. Damn it. It wasn't Opal. Was it Lumen? Somebody did comprehend languages.
It was Opal.
It was Opal. Okay. Hey, Ben. After seeing yesterday, the celestial stuff, I can help with that. If you have anything further to add, more to say, I can help with that. Just give me a second. He'll hum to himself, vaguely celestial, and then casting comprehend languages, it gets more. it makes more sense.
Gotcha.
Me llamo Allegretto.
So you're saying Al didn't prepare tongues?
Oh,
so
shit.
So that he could help others? I'm just kidding.
Nah, you only get level 1 slot.
You're a prepared caster now. Don't forget.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you have comprehend languages, so you can understand what Ben is saying.
Yes.
Okay.
So Ben will go off in Celestial about, we can really use this to figure out which way we can go first. she can help us out. Kind of tell us, hey, if we go here first and we do this, we can expect this. We can ask any question we want. So he's really excited that someone can actually understand him. So he's like rambling. He's going really, really fast and rambling.
Are you talking?
Is Al trying to interpret this whole time?
It's
Are you like
it's
doing
clear
live
to me.
interpretation, like as he's speaking, or are you just like getting the gist
I've-
and repeating after that?
It's a call and response, so I will close his eyes and kind of think carefully, try to remember every bit, and then I'll slowly start opening his eyes like, oh shit, this is a lot of info. This guy's pretty articulate. Oh shit.
Make a wisdom save.
He's actually
Al.
really smart. If it goes on too long, Al would probably raise a finger and be like, one sec, and then divulge
Pause, please.
60 seconds of information and then go back like, okay, keep it going.
I'm gonna bounce up to Rock and Carlos if they're in the room and be like, he does this every time there's somebody else that can speak in that weird language.
Yeah.
I'll go-
Oh, just wait till he realizes Rock speaks primordial.
I'm gonna give Davis a glance of like, I've made a mistake.
I haven't
No, you're doing
talked
great, you're doing
like
great.
this since home.
Oh my goodness.
That's home. God damn it. All right. So, yes, Ben, you are in the side room. There is a, it's not a glassed window. It is a window, but there are wooden slits, like like blinds. So, to bring some light in, 14 steps over there and just kind of pulls the cord that brings the slits to be in a horizontal position, so that light is streaming in. And she just quickly says, "Hope that helps," but telepathically too.
And I'll nod, yes. And this will be probably the first time you guys are going to see me do this, since I don't know how the interaction with the shield. As I reach my hand into the shield and I pull out my little lighthouse lantern that I use for my communion.
Okay, yeah.
So
you guys
you carry
essentially-
my arm up to my elbow in the shield, in the backside of
Yes.
it, and pull something out.
Exactly. For those of you that are on the side that can see like the inside of the shield, if there's anyone, you'll basically see like this rippling, warping, like a silvery water kind of effect that he's reaching in. Yeah, he's like in there, like deep, like elbow deep, and then pulls out his lantern. And Nevesk would just look at that. He's like, "That's pretty handy. That's pretty cool. Urge
Yeah,
to
then-
steal rising."
Ben's completely oblivious because he has a task at hand.
Yeah.
So he looks at Al. Okay, we need to know what we can ask 3 questions. What are the 3 questions? And please make sure we word them perfectly.
Translate. I mean, if we want to get kind of cheesy with it, we can just be like, there's 6 sites and just pick 2 and then say this one or this one, and then this one or this one, and then this one or this one. But that's
But like, what are you this one or this one about? That's
it's like, do we go here or do we go here? Do we go here or do we go here?
I can make one of them paper fortune teller things. Class them with this. Do you want to pick 1, 2, 3, 4? Red, blue?
All right. I'll wait for you guys to decide. I mean, I'll
Play
see.
MASH
I'll
about
see
it.
how.
And I'll be like, we don't have to decide right now. I can do the spell anytime we want. It's really simple to do. It only takes me a couple of
I
minutes.
guess
So we can think about it, blah, blah, blah.
let's ask if. I mean, how long? And I'll look at Ben. I'll be like, is there a certain amount of time that you can ask the question in, or can you just ask any like throughout the day, or? Because actually,
Oh.
out of character, real quick, I don't think did we ever see Sej do commune or any of?
He's done some sort of communion before.
Did he?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, not very often.
Okay.
Yeah, but he has.
So
He did
mechanically,
it, like,
Davis would probably understand it.
Yeah, it's like 10 minute. He's got a 10-minute window to ask his questions, basically.
Got it. Okay. It's 1 minute.
1 minute.
About a 1-minute window. Yeah.
Alright.
Sorry,
It's 1 minute to cast, 1 minute for duration.
Right.
my bad.
Yeah. So with that in mind, wow. Yeah, we really.
And Al, let them know that it can only be yes or no questions.
Yep. Only yes and no. We gotta be careful with that. Ben, can you cast on the wagon? Or too distracting?
Oh, I should be able to do it on the wagon as long as there's nothing really going on. I just need a, flat surface to put the focus. I kind of point to the lantern. And then as long as it's, not too bumpy of a road, should be perfectly fine.
I give the menagerie a thumbs up. If need be, we can do this on the wagon. We need more time to think of questions and stuff.
14 begins to just close the blinds.
Ooh.
I'll look at her. Is it her or him? Or do I know?
Her. She's a her.
I'll kind of motion, leave them open.
She's like, okay. And opens them back up.
Just because I want the light.
I'll do the hand gesture again, even if nobody knows what it means. The sun gesture.
Gotcha. Then she'll step away from the window and she'll go stand closer to Carlos.
I mean, easy.
She's a Thrycreen, right?
Yeah, essentially she's Materia's version of Thrycreen. So they're not. Think of them if you're familiar. This is not to rip off, but if you're familiar with like Hunter x Hunter, like the Chimera ants, they have like humanoid features. So she is definitely a Thrycreen in the facts of like, mechanics and even a lot of the visuals, but they do have like humanoid faces. They're not insectoids. They're not monstrosities. But essentially, yes, Thrycreen.
Do they still have clacky mandibles?
Technically, if she opens her mouth wide enough, maybe.
Ah.
She can unhinge her jaw if she wants to.
Oh shit.
Very nice.
She still has like antennas and everything to allow her to have the telepathy. Just wanted them to be more, just for the sake of it. Wanted them to be more human for the sake of them being incorporated into the melting pot culture that is Materia, right?
Yeah.
It's just that's the only main reason. And I do kind of like the idea of what the Chimera Ants were designed does, so it also kind of was made it easy to use that inspiration. But yeah, so she is very much like neck up. You can tell very feminine, facial features. Though there's still like some chitinous plating, antennas. Maybe her eyes are just a little bit different, but yeah, definitely. 14 is definitely a girl. So.
Carlos will greet her. Just like, hey. I don't know if there's some sort of like, because they're from around my home areas, right? Yeah. Okay.
You're more familiar with the Thrycreen. She's the first one you've seen in a while. You have had amicable relations with her kind the entire time. So
I'll use some Pride Lands idioms or something like that.
She'll chuckle at it and be like, yeah, it's... And she'll speak with you telepathically. She's like, these meetings are really boring. I don't get it. Like, they just need to say, go here, and we go there, right? Am I wrong? Like the grasshopper jumps. It doesn't think, just jumps. It goes.
I kind of chuckle at that. Like, true, but some thinking is good every now and again. Otherwise, there's always the grasshopper that's surprised when it jumps into the mouth of the frog.
Nice. Fair.
I was gonna say something else, but I'm like, all I could think of is eats bugs is frogs, and it's like
I was thinking fish.
Toad. We'll say toad because it'd be drier climates, right? Yeah, so toad. We'll say toad.
Yeah. Fair point.
But you are correct. They can go on about the same things for a while, but
yes,
they mean to be diligent.
It's appreciated, I guess. It keeps us. It allows us to hone our blades, right?
True that.
Well, if this goes on too much longer, if you want, there's the stalls out back, and then there's the stewards are there. It's a really good place to just train and fight. And if you want to fisticuff it, let me know.
I will keep that in mind. I appreciate the invitation.
Of course. She just has her she's got both sets of arms just kind of crossed. She's just very bored. No. But going back to the main table, Opal will say, well, I mean, the discussions with the deity are always helpful. It's a good tool to have and valuable asset. We need to figure out where we're departing to if we are going to branch off into multiple teams. So
We've been having discussions in chat.
and Roll20 chat.
Yeah.
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 Nice.
Ben, take a gander.
Okay. Got you.
Oh, I am. I'm trying to break
Well, so the
the
first
north
one.
south to kind of give us a direction.
Yeah.
So are you doing which one or what spell are you going to try to do? Is it commune or
Commune, which is yes or no. 3 questions.
Well, first we should. I don't know. I mean, so the first question that I posed was like just to determine if there's anything that's like super urgent. So I said, do any of these sites have any relics that we absolutely must keep out of Bloodletter's hands? So like if that's a yes, then we can be like, okay, is it the northern ones or the southern ones? And kind of go from there.
Well, what I was going to do is take that, but incorporate both with a cardinal direction. Is the northern sites more important to keep out the Bloodletter's hands?
Okay, that's fine.
Say yes, then we know. Basically 2 questions in one, right?
Sort of,
If it
yeah.
says yes, go north. Or if it says no, we go south. And then from there, we can figure out which one of those. Or technically, we're going to divide into 2 groups, right? Or how many groups are we dividing into?
Yeah, to the
The
table. 2 or
the
3.
table will say at least 2 groups. We would like to keep the menagerie as one, and then Pew and some of the others back here will divide as needed.
And we have 3 above and 3 below at main.
So does it feel? Do we
Is
get
that
the
the
feeling
Wayfarer?
that if we're gonna go one way, they're gonna go the other? Is that basically what we're gonna?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ah.
Yeah,
Okay, did I miss something? I'm seeing 4 names at the bottom: Little Drop,
Well,
Al,
that's an
Rock,
old
and
town.
Ben.
Little Drop. I just added the
star.
city area.
Oh, okay.
'Cause I
missed
mentioned it
that part.
too.
Got it.
Yeah.
But it's
So-
in Ruin, I believe.
Yes. So all the if you missed it, Ben, all these little star-like things are previous settlements.
No. I heard that part. Just I didn't catch on the Little Drop part.
Yeah. I just happened to name drop it, so I tagged it
Get it?
for you guys.
Name drop.
Yep.
Uh,
Unintentional, but I am that good. So you're welcome.
Yeah, I think so. But so for a follow-up, so are the northern sites more important to investigate? So yes or no? Like it seems.
But I will state that based on the Materia version, like a small phrase, if it's unclear,
Right.
you can get a small phrase, right? Yeah. So.
Yeah. How explicit is the guiding force here for important? Like safe or risk versus reward? Better for the deity?
Well, I will say the audience that Ben is reaching out to, it's his deity, so she's not. It's not like. How do I put it? She likes her follower, so like, she's
You
not
just
going to
did
try
something every day for a goddamn year.
Good man. I've seen better.
And not to mention, I put a strong foothold for her religion in this godless fucking area.
Oh yeah.
So I posted a question. It's the Bloodletters, right?
Yeah, it's
Bloodletters are one of the demons that you've encountered, or the feats, I should say.
Yeah, it's the pack of the what is it?
Sacraments.
Sacrament.
So I can change Bloodletters to Pack of Sacrament.
Yeah. But understand, like
I like that.
like if you say Bloodletters, I will say that she understands
She
what you're
knows what's
saying.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Ben has Ben and Cielo have not encountered bloodletters. So
Oh,
Was
Yeah,
her
no.
champion not a bloodletter type?
no.
Oh, okay.
that was
was a
only in the
person.
museum.
Yeah, those were someone
The exploding guys.
they're the ones that when you were bleeding and they were within proximity of each other, they did more to you, right?
That was
Right.
dangerous.
So,
Yeah, those
yeah,
fucking suck.
The more there are, the more dangerous they are. Is essentially the way that they act. I think it was because you've had so many discussions with so many individuals. Pew, Opal, and 14 are aware of them because they got ports from Ofuma and Yorn and all that.
Makes sense.
The only individual here that has spoken up, that has said that they've seen the bloodletters, it's two of them, and those would be the individual when you were at the Sunlit Spire. That would be Bodhi and Neves. Bodhi because Bodhi has been here the longest, and Neves because he was a cryptic collector, so he's encountered them before, and they're terrifying. So, and the what is super concerning, and Bodhi will say, tried to stress this previously, and maybe I failed, is that they've never gone that far, right? The bloodletters have, from what they have seen, have always been restricted to and around Pack territory proper. The Bloodfields, the Crimson Expanse, they don't leave as far as they know.
I definitely spoke accordingly to the party that experienced the bloodletters. Like, what the fuck? That's not good.
And Al, you're worried about it. You can give me an Arcana check. I think Fiends. Yeah, Arcana check if you want.
Hell yeah, I'm trash at that. Let's go. Yeah.
Oh,
Let's lucky that shit. Because I'd like to be
Very
a little
nice.
better. Give me a 2.
Can't be worse.
Alright, 16 total.
16.
Above average.
I'll take it.
So take with it as you wish. The information provided about, they don't leave the blood fields, the Crimson Expanse. They need blood. I mean, to quote, I think it was Blade. You're nothing but a blood bag. Person's nothing but a blood bag.
So it's just where the blood is?
Maybe, you don't know, but that's where your brain goes.
It's not a... I will kind of like half-heartedly share that with the group. The table, just like, what if it's not a place? What if it's just wherever the blood is, wherever something living can manifest? That's dangerous. That'd be bad. He'll shiver at the blood letters.
Looking.
Yeah, to be
Yeah,
honest,
you guys are
Ben,
just
I
asking
don't know if I have any better questions. Like, frankly, just getting a beat on like north or south would be fine, and then.
Well, I just posted. We're looking for artifacts or items, right? Do we know if each location has them? Because what I could do is north or south, and then say, does location X have an item worth investigating?
Yeah,
That is curious.
And
that's somewhat similar
since
to
there's three,
my question, but yeah.
since there's 3 of them, I can get north or south and label down to 3. And then when I ask the next 2, it'll tell us what the third.
Yeah, we're binary searching
maybe
this
the
shit.
third one. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Upside down tree, let's go.
I mean,
So I can do that. Plus, guys,
we're fine.
plus, guys, I can ask it more than once.
That's true. It's a ritual, so you can just kind of keep. Well, but there's a 25% chance.
Well, no, it's not.
Et cetera.
It's not a ritual.
Commune? Yeah, it is.
Is that optional?
Yeah, it is. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's ritual.
But
Yes.
if you use it a
Never mind, that
bunch, you start accumulating chances that you're not getting an answer.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, there's nothing stopping you from doing it today, and then if you get a direction the
True.
next day,
Yeah.
the next day, the next
It's not
day.
like we're going to be there this afternoon, right?
No.
No,
it's
well, I
like-
mean, you guys,
the
like I said, we
closest
might
site is
fast
like
travel
3 days
somewhere.
away, 4 days away. It looks like.
Something like that, yeah.
But on to Davis's point, I do think we should prioritize trying to set back the pack more
Do you want
so
the
than
little-
forwarding ourselves, I suppose. If it's something like that axe you found, I saw you took it, Ben, but you didn't use it. You kind of gave it up to the temple. But
Bad.
the guy,
Very, very bad.
very bad. But the guy that was using it, he was strong. You stole it.
Was.
Not theirs anymore. That's the kind of stuff I think we should look for. Stuff that makes them strong, that we can keep away from them.
Yep. And then, well, now that you mention it, Al, like I kind of go back to the first idea, because if we're extricating both the relics and the valuables from the sites and the people, I guess when we clear the site, we'd probably want to, like, we wouldn't just say, hey, you guys head on over to West Green. Like, they would probably stay with us, right? And make camp with us, and, like, you know, because it's dangerous for them to just travel on their own home. So we would have all of that stuff with us, and we wouldn't want to be taking all these powerful things closer and closer to them, right? We'd want to be taking them farther and farther away from them.
Oh,
When I hear that, I'll look at Al. Let Davis know that I can get back to the temple within minutes.
ooh.
All of us?
He can get us all back to the temple faster than I can. And more securely too. Half-hearted grin.
Is it actually
Hold
all
on
of
one
us?
second. I'm looking at this. I'm looking up the spell right now.
Yeah,
I think it's up to him and 7 willing creatures, if I remember
Yeah, I
right.
think it's 7.
so all of
Be
us.
like, oh,
but-
sorry, we've gotta leave somebody behind.
I'll pull out the painting with the keeper's memento. I think I can take 10. So if we have to split into 2 groups, if there are some others coming with us, that's an option. But that only gives us 17, 18 total. That's still, I'm sure there's more people at the dig site than that. So that's kind of dangerous.
Oh, is it Word of Recall? Is that what you're doing? No.
Yeah, what do we call?
Yeah, what do we call it? There it is. Got it.
Bodhi will.
Up to 5 willing. You and up to 5 willing
5.
within
So
5
6
feet.
total, which is us, but not anybody we've got with us.
If we go,
And it only casts me an action to do it.
You say the word, and then you whoop back to your shrine.
But we all have to
So-
be
And
within
with,
5 feet of you.
and with the shield, I can store stuff inside the shield.
Yours, your teleport is only to the temple, right? Nowhere else?
No, I can go to the temple, but I can also go to any designated shrine that I've associated with.
But the
But-
main location is the
Yes.
temple.
Yeah.
The
That's the-
default is the
the
shrine.
guaranteed easy one.
hmm
Okay. I can help with that too. I might be able to get back, but that's super risky and it takes an entire day. So if there's some people that we have to get back, I could leave the group for a day and maybe get back the next day, maybe end up another plane. That's very risky. That's last resort, but an option. Let's try not to kind of do
The other thing I can do, 'cause of course I'm talking to Al, is I can cast Temple of the Gods where we're at and go back and forth between the two as long as I have the spells.
Oh. These your holy magics are very nice. I like these.
OP, OP, OP.
Pretty much.
Ah,
Because Temple of the Gods lasts 24 hours if I'm not mistaken.
It does.
it does.
That's how you can
Yep,
do
so
it
I
every
can
day
cast
for
it.
a year.
Yep.
Al,
Cast
here
it.
with the
The only thing is it doesn't consume it. Never mind.
Al, we'll share at the table. Tiny hut, piece of shit. Fancy mansion, piece of shit. This guy, holy temple, he figured it out.
What's up?
Yeah, out of game, it's only a 7th level spell though.
Right.
He only
What's
just
the
got
day?
it. Yeah.
Tell
Well,
me.
like he's been
So
up
he's
this level
been
for a while, but it's
yeah,
been
13th level for a year at least.
Yep.
Yeah. But that's what I'm letting you, like, just letting you know, like, if he was playing with you guys this whole time, then yeah.
Brand new to him. Okay.
Yeah, so Ben's been chilling. Hadn't got no XP for a whole year. That's why he's excited about going out and killing people.
Guess I'll
He's
do my
ready
morning
to go.
routine.
Meanwhile, we went from 1 to 14 in a year.
It's
Yeah.
all about efficiency, you know?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but I got a fancy temple, so nah.
Not
With
anymore,
the
Sedges,
RP,
bitch.
you wouldn't think we'd speedrun? Yeah.
So,
We're heroes, all right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
whenever
Temple
you're
of
ready for
Gods,
your
like you
questions.
can just cast. So it literally doesn't allow anybody in other than the people you want. That's true. Okay.
Yep.
It does take an hour to cast though.
Yeah.
It takes an hour to cast, and there are ways to force your way.
Right.
There are ways, but one thing I really like about it is how I can protect it against a certain type of creatures.
Yeah, and it can be dispelled technically. I
Yep,
believe.
it can.
So-
Yes.
I hope.
Oh no, it says it can't be dispelled by dispel magic. Never mind.
No, it can't be dispelled. The thing about it is, like, it essentially functions as a space. You guys get certain perks and benefits. Certain things get hindered while they're there, but yeah. I mean, it's if you can use it creatively, then you can potentially use it offensively and defensively.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's just meant to be a
Right.
a place of rest.
Real quick, I imagine halfway through the discussion, Al and at least half the rest of the party, if not more, is standing up at the table, like pointing at the map, like, no, here. What if we go here? What if how we split this direction? And we get a little more into it as time goes on. Maybe put some coins on the table as tokens of like, okay, group A, group B. I want to be the gold coin. Give me that. I want that money back.
So, yeah. So what are you gonna ask your god?
I'm typing them out right now. That way
Okay.
we can kind of confirm them.
I'll relay the message to the party.
Cause yeah,
So-
like so I guess Davis asking Rafa and the group, like, so for the, I mean, each location has some sort of defensive force with it, right? Would they be capable enough to find their way back to West Green safely on their own, or would we need to kind of keep them with us while we, clear the rest?
The individuals that are tasked with the defending and the livelihoods, they should be their their previous how do I put it, ex-soldiers, previous mercenaries, previous swords for hire, security groups, details, stuff like that. So they are trackers and hunters and all this. They have their own means of capabilities, and they have been vetted and assigned with tasks. So they are capable in their own right, and part of their charge would be to assist getting the groups back home.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
So for context, those that are there that are for we'll call them for safety and security. They are there to hunt. They are there to supply food and make sure they have proper shelter and all this. There's more than just that, and they are of course there to be a deterrent and a lookouts and scouts for any dangers.
Right.
But they are not. There are too few to safely escort dig sites of 30 or more individuals, accompanied by wagons being pulled by oxen that are taking stone tablets, charcoal etching, who knows what other types of relics and tomes and so that is the issue. It's once a dig site or is being escorted, it is a very exposed target.
Okay.
That's our concern.
So if
Sorry.
we're helping in a search to some extent, that could be a potential issue. Okay. If I may ask, what are the? Is there any kind of consistent communication between the dig sites and, say, West Green, or is it just kind of send them out, hope to hear from them back 2-4 weeks later?
We have messengers and couriers that travel between most of those types of capabilities when you're talking about magic and arcane are limited to these individuals that are in this room. What this group is capable of doing, along with Opal and some of his, perhaps you forget, but what you are able to do is not common.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Understood.
It's there are, of course, some implementations of some tools that we utilize to be able to expedite long-range communications, but they are few and they are valuable, and we tend to only use them absolutely when needed.
Hey, Al.
Most valuable. Yeah, Davis?
If we got in a big pinch, you could get any number of people back to the Court of Stars, I think, right?
I don't think it's too many. It's
As long as they're
you know
quick
your
about it.
circle. You know your circle when you spin your glaive. I think my circle might be that size, maybe a little smaller. But I
It's
can
just a matter of
take.
how fast you get in there, I think, isn't it?
You know,
It's
I never tried it more than just you and I and a couple others. So, you know, I never felt the power weaken from having more people in a circle. I think you're right.
I mean, obviously, like, logistically speaking, yeah, it's probably not 50 people, but like
Yeah,
10,
Whoever
15,
can cram in.
maybe, you know.
Yeah.
So I think what Davis is, or what Danny is getting at, Corbin,
Yes,
is that
teleportation circle.
Yeah. The circle basically is like an open hole for 6 seconds or whatever.
Right.
Oh, okay. It isn't instantaneous by like.
Right. No, that's for a round.
Okay. Oh shit. Okay, I thought it was a instantaneous. I kept using the hug metaphor of like, go on, guys.
No,
That's
which is
like
fine. Like that's fine. But
there
mechanically
is a
speaking,
door open for 6 seconds.
for 6 seconds. Yes.
Oh shit! I was unaware of that for teleportation.
For the circle, yeah. So like the circle stays active for 6 seconds. So you have a minute to cast it, and then they have 6 seconds to just run through it.
Mine's an
or
action.
whatever it is. That's fine. Again, I was just trying to.
Okay.
Whatever. Yeah.
Let me teleport you on it.
So are you doing teleport or teleportation circle?
I have
What
teleport.
spell? Oh, then
I
yes,
teleport.
yours is an
So
action. Yours is different.
Well,
Yeah.
that
So
one takes you
teleportation
with
circle.
Instant 8 creatures.
Yes. So that one's
Yeah.
a snap. That one's a snap. That one's a.
Yeah,
Whoop,
yeah.
We're gone.
But you have to go with that teleportation circle. You
Yes.
don't.
Yes. Teleportation
Yeah.
circle is a minute cast, and then you can basically activate it, and then any number of people that cross that threshold get teleported to the destination that you have it linked up with.
I am a prepared caster.
So you can prepare it if you like.
Okay.
And it's only 5th
I'll
level, so you could do it a couple times. So.
Yes. Okay. Then yeah, I'll put all his focus into teleport for that instant snap. Take 8 people with him.
Yeah.
He'll start looking into teleportation circle. Okay.
If it is on your spell list, then yes, you can.
It is.
So.
Bird.
Who's here? Opal and yeah,
So
Opal's probably the most magical one, right?
That you're aware of, yeah, it's definitely Opal. She is straight up a wizard.
I will, yeah. I'll just basically spell out. I'll just be like, so Al knows how to draw this like circle on the ground, and as long as he's seen something that looks like it, he can transport people there.
I'm
but
I'm still figuring out the circle one. I can do the snap version. Yours is a bit. I need to study yours a little more. There's something there, right?
Mine's a bit iffy, and I believe actually out of character too. I think I have to go with that. Actually, I don't know.
Oh,
or is it
you
just
are
basically
the anchor
circle?
point. No. You are the anchor point.
Okay.
For it. Okay, so that one's yours is a modified type of teleportation. You draw it, and anyone that's in the circle with you gets out to that.
And we don't even know if it would work over such a long distance, right? We haven't tried
it
that far.
Yep.
And it's kind of risky to just try it. Although we could always, have Al try and teleport us back, but good luck.
He gives you a thumbs up.
So basically, I'll look to Opal and be like, Have you studied anything like that, and would you know of any places that have one of those things like already set up? Because we had to kind of find the one that we were looking for, and I don't think really many people know about it, and it seems not common. Like, you know what I'm talking about?
If you're talking about an actual circle of teleportations, those things are extremely rare, and I personally have never seen one in my life. I've seen drawings and sketchings in different tomes about them, but they are not highly utilized or practiced because of the amount of gatekeeping that would be required. Yes, it is essentially a backdoor to anywhere.
Yeah.
Now, from what I understand, in in the times before, that there were many scattered about, and the glyph that was the call sign for these circles were extremely protected, and wizards and those types were very paranoid about who actually got access to understanding their own symbol, because essentially it was yeah. Now, to be frank, even if you did have these symbols and you were able to go to some sort of circle, because of the nature of those individuals that would implement such a arcane device, the amount of defensive systems that could be in place as well could be, well, staggering, overwhelming.
Oh yeah, Al got super stabbed. Like, he just woof. He just got knocked out in one hit.
I'm avoiding eye contact.
I mean,
so it seems like the ledgers and what I have read is true then. Fascinating.
It was a tribulation to find that, but if you have any information to share, I'd be willing to share as well. We'd have to travel together initially to say, hello, Guardians of the Circle, these are my friends. You can trust them too. But after that...
So you've uncovered a proper functioning circle?
You didn't hear
almost cost me my life. Yes, almost cost me my life, and I don't know if I found one.
Right.
I'll wink at her.
Interesting. Well, I would be very disappointing then to tell you that, because these type of magics are so sparse, that I am not very proficient in. Sorry, I could study up on it, but unfortunately. Yeah.
No worries, perfectly fine. I've only really delved into it in the last, perhaps, month, when Dave has actually showed me the ways to do some magical means with his weapon. He's just intrinsically tied. Weapon. You see, he's got something going on.
Yeah.
But spend enough time with him, we're able to figure something out.
Okay.
If you get time, though, I definitely recommend investigating, researching it. It's a very interesting school of magic.
Absolutely. Thank you. Well, perhaps I'll find some old documents and sources.
Word of warning: it does take a long time to get any payoff, though. So just keep at it.
Fair. Fair. But yes. So sorry. Unfortunately, our planning amongst ourselves never had considered utilizing means of instant teleportation or transmission.
I imagine it's not really an option in a lot of cases.
Yes. So if you're able to utilize it, then that is wonderful. However, a word of caution might be that those that are not educated or familiar with it may be hesitant to take you up on such a means.
Sure.
I'll look at Karos. Yeah, that might be worth giving like a sermon or some kind of explanation before you just pull people through a door. You know, yeah. Sorry about that.
Or we just shove them in.
I mean, it's an option. I'm not cleaning it up though. It's not blood. It's vomit. Don't worry about it.
I was gonna say, I think it's maybe something for specific important travel. I don't I mean, I've met a lot of people, and a lot of people that could do some pretty impressive things. Town guard leaders and mercenary captains, but some of the stuff I've seen out of this group in the last year, I mean, I know I haven't been there that long, but just in the time we spent, this is not something that your average person figures out. I mean, even the cream of the crop so far, I think you got something figured out that a lot of people, if you tell the wrong people, are going to be very, very interested in. So, not saying you got to hoard it, but maybe just be careful, you know, present company excluded, how much you go around spreading that.
So
Unless you want to get a permanent job with royalty, taking them all around the world, I imagine it would pay good and, you know, maybe not be as dangerous as our current line of work, but a little more
No,
stifling.
Cielo.
What?
Perfect. Love it.
So good.
No, definitely agree, Karos. And maybe another life we could teleport some rich folk, but no, we're here to help people, and I'll gesture to the table. They've proven they're in the same boat as well, so it's a good call. I'll be a little shutty up here in the future, but they seem like good people.
Sure. As I said, I'm not too concerned here, but it's, you know, when you start discussing how many people you can take and how often you can take them, you know, then all of a sudden
It's a good way
you
to put a
start sounding
bullseye.
like a franchise, you know.
Uber teleport.
Now, there is something fascinating though, because this is Opal speaking. Because, well, you know, we have uncovered that in some of the locations, since like poxed upon the fields, there are collections of magics, collections of magical places. This could, in layman's terms, be referred to as like a mage's tower or wizard tower. Now, if you do have means of teleportation and understanding the glyphs and the circles, they are old enough and mysterious enough that you could potentially find something there.
That'd be cool.
But again, from what I understand in my readings, an abandoned mage tower is just as dangerous as a occupied mage tower.
It's a little different, but we can vouch for that.
I mean, is a necromancer tower the same as a mage tower? I don't actually know.
They do magic. They're just more of an asshole, you know. Somehow more of an asshole than a wizard.
The table starts.
It was like an abandoned shepherd of fate temple, right? That they made into a necromancer tower. Right?
Real quick, I'm gonna point a rock. Not you though. You're the coolest fucking wizard I've ever seen. Just keep pointing to him.
Not you. Not you.
Not you though.
Well, a real magic tower is like really hard to get into if you like trying to get into one. It's like a puzzle box if you're trying to like crawl through a window.
You don't say.
Have you tried before, Cielo?
No, I just have good sense about this.
It's I check.
I think this would be a deception check.
I rolled a fucking 20 and a 19 for a total of 26 natural 20.
That totem is, oh my god.
Damn.
I have a total
Don't even need
of,
the totem.
What was your highest?
26. With a natural 20
Yeah, you
for
beat
the DM wants to give me anything extra.
Well, I can't say. Again, you can choose to bravura it before Cielo says something.
Nah.
Okay, so 26. Cielo, what's your deception? Because I'm assuming it's a deception.
21.
Okay, so yeah. He's
I'm lying through
definitely.
my teeth.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That bunny has
Nah.
has some experience in this.
I'll just like look at Al and give him like the head shake, like, nah, man, he's lying.
I'll raise my eyebrows like, oh shit.
Well, necromancers are dead. You know, you figure the live ones are more aware. You know.
You'd figure. They just got, they're just weird about it. Out of character
Well, yeah,
was
they
Rock.
got those invisible eyeballs everywhere.
I don't know, it shouldn't make any sense. I hate it. Out of character was Rock trying to say something a minute ago?
I don't know.
Oh, I just said I like puzzles.
This is
Hmm.
true.
So do I.
They
But
make
I do have to call. I
Okay.
work in the morning and I'm fading.
Okay.
All right.
good.
Thanks, CJ.
Sleep well,
Hey,
CJ. If there's anything you want me to focus on, let me know. But for Rock,
Yeah, I will.
Alright.
Will do. Take care.
Rest
Should
well,
join
buddy.
in. Get some rest. Woo. Yeah, puzzles are definitely fun, but they're a little easier when the space makes sense. But wizard towers, I think we're getting on a tangent here.
A little bit. They're a lot more fun when you're not trying to die.
And they excel at making you want to die, making you die.
Well, yeah, it depends on the person making the puzzle, I guess.
Once again, most of the wizards I've met, except for this guy.
I
Kind of
mean,
assholes.
once again, this is probably an awful tangent.
What does Opal say when Hal says that?
Once again, except for these two. Sorry, Opal. I would never forget you, Opal.
Mubby, you're out here catching strays.
BB, I'm sorry. Please forgive me.
It's like it's okay. I understand. I'm new to this group.
No. I trusted you enough for a magic circle that I almost died trying to find. You're in the group.
Yeah, but
Oh, well,
that's just a rumor.
Never heard of it. Maybe I'm making up shit. You don't know me.
You don't.
if so, but to get on task,
Yes.
Hugh, Opal, 14, and the hands that we have available will be one group.
Yep.
While Rafa recovers, and the Crass Menagerie, along with apparently the keeper of the tower and his Padfoot friend, are joining the menagerie. So
Not
really,
keeper, architect, keeper back tower.
as she says that, I'll stand up and go stand behind both of them. I assume they're sitting close to each other, and put my hands on their shoulders and be like, no, they're menagerie. So just the menagerie.
sorry.
That's
No
right.
need to distinguish.
Very well. So the menagerie will go as one contingency, and Pew and what forces that we have here will go as another. It's just up to decide where we are allocating ourselves and when we depart.
I give Ben an awkward and like knowing but goofy thumbs up.
Like,
We're in.
I kinda see, like-
What mean menagerie?
a group of
We're-
things
yeah.
that aren't the same.
Yeah, bunch of different weirdos all working
Yeah.
together.
But that's the important bit. We gotta stick together.
Got a lot of variety. You know that word, variety, Ben?
All the variety.
Yes,
Yeah,
I know.
variety.
Verity, yes.
Yeah.
Close.
Like a walking zoo.
Yep. Very much so.
Yeah.
Rafa will just kind of say, it's actually really fitting. None of you are like the other.
Yeah.
Huh.
One day we'll figure out who's the main act.
It's the guy who already left.
Just yesterday we had Alexa. Nada.
So we got rid of an elephant and a bear for a spaceman and a button.
And a wabbit.
Yeah.
And you got Marvin the Martian and Bugs Bunny.
You know, just another Saturday.
Shit, we do have Marvin
Whoa.
the Martian. Fuck.
Oh shit.
I sorry.
Yes.
This is
It
how
just came
Ben
to
needs
mind.
to talk now.
Oh.
No. Okay.
Oh, man.
That's Ben when he speaks another language that we sure get a ton to cover.
Al discovers that, wow, when you understand a celestial, it's not as cool.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So, are we
I'll,
asking
Yeah,
questions?
are we
or
asking
sure
the
we-
beacon?
Yeah.
Everybody cool with those questions?
I think so.
I would have shared this with the group. Yeah, anybody opposed? Be sure. I think it's a nice consolidation of the ideas and helps trickle things on faster.
Okay.
Thumbs up to Ben.
So I will find the place that is the most illuminated, Adam, in this area.
Okay. If you're
And-
staying within this little back room, then it's basically by the window. That
I will. I'm going to stay in the back room. Just one, I don't know this place, and two, I don't know any better. So I will pull out the lantern-shaped tower. I will light it, and then I will start my casting of commune.
I
Answer me
try to
these
say
questions
silent and
three.
considerate. I try to say silent and considerate, but I'll nudge Davis like, that's a pretty cool fucking lantern. Look at that. Ooh, whoa.
Okay, so after a minute, I will ask the first question. So the first question, of course, will be in Celestial. So if you want to speak Celestial, they'll be able to hear it. Is it more vital to go to the northern sites in an effort to stop the Pact of the Sacrament?
More vitals. So
I'm assuming context is not. I don't have to go into great detail because
yeah,
it's my deity. I don't have to say the northern sites where the artifacts are located that we're hunting down.
no, I get it. I'm just trying to understand. I'm trying to define vital. Sorry, that's what I'm trying to think.
Well,
And-
vital in an effort to stop the Pact of the Sacrament. So basically, I'm
Right.
trying to determine which one is more advantageous for us to collect first.
I get you.
Invalid parameters. Better luck next time.
Vital to stop me. The lantern. I'm trying to think like the visuals that you have. So you have the map out. You have the lantern light. So the light from the window will be essentially like captured and focused in by your lantern, and through the magics of your little communion, the light will shine honestly, they're all vital. It'll shine to the northern portion of the map.
Okay, I will kind of point to the map so everyone kind of sees it. Okay, question number 2.
Oh, that's true. He did commune in Ivy Home. That's right.
I did, but that was a
At
different
least
group.
twice. Well, no, but I'm just saying we know Ben.
Yeah.
is
The
coming.
visual.
So I am going to see where's the next question. Is site and whatever the marker is for the Davis site.
Sure.
I'm assuming each one of them are different, correct?
Yeah, we'll say that they're labeled in some way.
Yeah, whatever. Gold coin, copper coin, whatever.
Yep.
Is the site marked with insert whatever it is more important than the other two in the northern locations in an effort to stop the Pact of the Sacrament?
checking what he rolled. No.
Okay. So then I will do the exact same wording, but I'll denote whichever one is showing cielos on the map.
Because you're asking what's more important. Sorry, what was the?
More important than the other two in the northern. The question's in.
I understand. Yeah, I'm just trying to think.
And I know more important is subject to interpretation, but I'm assuming
And
she is a goddess.
she's
so
on your side. Yeah,
yeah.
so she's not gonna make it difficult. It's just bluntly put. There's so many, like, without telling you like what's out there. There's so many layers out there that it's hard for me to distinguish. Like,
And
well,
I
they could use
understand.
this.
I understand that. And
This.
just choose. You as a DM choose one. Either it be the power of the weapon, strategic advantage,
Yeah.
the approach of stealth.
Yeah.
I guess those are my three parameters. And I
So-
will be thinking about those three in my head while I'm asking
Okay,
the questions.
so let me backtrack then real quick. On your second question, the Davis Shrine, the Davis Ruins, they are important. So yes, they are important, but you'll get a sense important, but to in a phrase, it's an impossible question to wade because everything there has a degree of importance.
Got it.
The first question was vital instead of important. Would that be worth reusing? I know vital, at least cutting it down in half, is huge.
Yeah, so like again, so the
It is
north,
important.
you got the sense that there is something to the north that is vital. Yes, so you got that answer. Now, out of these three, which one is the most important right now? So is the top, the northwest one, the most vital? And then if you ask the yellow, it's and that then you get the sense that it comes down to interpretation because there are things at each of these sites that potentially, if uncovered or used, or that can cause issues.
Okay.
Can cause
So
dangers.
that's fine. That gives me what I need. So I will relay to the group. Al is the comprehend still up.
Yeah.
I
Yep,
will
an hour.
say, according to the light, the three to the north are the most important currently. And I'll point to the three locations on the map.
Or more important. Okay.
And as it's concerned with stopping the Pack of the Sacrament.
Our focus is defense to stop them, not to empower us.
Well, offense and defense can be interchangeable, right? Because if I have a mighty weapon, I could use it to defend a city.
True.
So, speaking with the gods, it's not always black and white. There are layers upon layers of intricacies and other things that they see that we don't see.
Always. Yes.
Gods are like onions.
Yeah.
Ooh. The
They
good
make you
layers.
cry.
So,
Man.
so they're like parfait. Everyone loves a good parfait.
Look at the table. Parfaits.
Yo, Air Genasi,
14.
get us some parfaits.
Hey, come on.
And make them nice and whipped. I know you can do that.
Believe in you. Good job.
So,
It's amazing how a movie that old-
sorry, good.
Oh, sorry, I was just gonna say it's amazing how a movie that old can, like, that's the first thing that comes into my head anytime anybody says the word
Cougars
layers.
have layers. Yeah.
They don't even have to use the voice. It's just like, oh yeah, I know it has layers.
No,
Onions,
timeless.
onions have layers.
Absolutely
And ogres.
timeless.
And ogres have layers.
Right?
So I will let Al and the group, but while speaking in Celestial, know that I believe the three that are north are the most important. Beyond that, I don't really have a definite direction.
the entire table, I'd ask again, were we planning to split into 2 or 3 groups? It was just 2, right? The
It's
menagerie
just
and then
2, yeah.
everyone else. Okay. Ben, do you think both groups should go north, or should we still split north and south?
I would say both go north because I got that one of those three, if not all three of those, are more important in whatever means that she is trying to relay to me than the others in stopping the Pact of the Sacrament.
Assuming Al relays that, I would then say...
Yeah.
I mean, does that throw off the timetable? Because that was important, right? I'll be saying that to, like, Pew and 14 and the rest. Like, would it be okay if all of us went to the north and then afterwards to the south, or is that going to take too much time?
It's certainly something that could be done. I mean, we would prefer to get as many people out as soon as possible. But if you have a sense that it is vital to send more people to the 3 northern locations, then we'll have to take your word for it and adjust.
I'll look at Ben. I'll be like, north was big thumbs up, right, from the beacon.
Yes.
Not just.
I don't see more
Sure,
thumbs
why
up.
not? But big thumbs up.
Yes, it was. She indicated that is the most vital. Now again, I'm doing celestial, so
Right.
Al, you're gonna have to. translate.
Anytime you're doing more than like single word responses, I'm assuming it's celestial if you have an interpreter.
Eventually, Al gets good enough that he can start doing like every sentence or every 2 sentences. He'll like, hold on, okay, go on, and he'll be a lot more consistent with the delivery.
Now, I was not detailed in stating there were multiple groups or which group it's more important to go north. So that was not a factor in the answer.
I think this works in our favor if we do all go north. That gives us maybe 1 or 2 more days of you getting more answers, right?
Yes, I can try more.
And that could help us
The,
make
the
some
issue,
final
the issue,
decisions.
the issue is if I have more information, I can get more detailed or more specific with my questions. Like if we know, if our goal is to retrieve people, do we know which place potentially has more people? Do they have spies there? Do they have people that are getting information? Things like this can make me have more direct and poignant questions because I only get yes or no answers.
That makes sense. And share that with the group, of course. To piggyback off of the going north idea, I want to reiterate Davis's first big point. They might know about us helping out in West Green, but this first strike would be them having as little knowledge about our group as possible. That should be the one that we make count. Being brave or stupid and going closer to I had it written down, Sun Rule. I think might be in our best interest in the long run. Perhaps even if, until we get further information, gesture to the menagerie, maybe we'd go the furthest point, closest to Sun Rule. Maybe travel together for a day or two and
So we
take the hardest path we can.
We go there. Maybe the other group goes to the jungle site because it seems to be the least likely to be watched because it's secluded, right? And then maybe we meet up at the third site, or maybe once they clear out the jungle site, then they start heading south.
I like that because the hills already have numbers, so we should join back as a group in higher numbers when we approach that. We might have to sneak around it initially, though, but I think that's the right path.
Now, Allegretto, tomorrow,
Mhm.
I can summon a celestial being that may be able to give us some answers as well. Add a game, planar ally.
That's more than yes, no.
Yes,
Ooh.
they're not under my control, but they are aligned with my goddess, which in turn should align them with me. But they have no obligation to answer my questions.
Okay. Okay.
But
Ben's, go on.
this could cost the group money or other valuable items, depending on what they want.
You say depending. Is that
Okay, at a game, it's 100 gold per minute for that's just for like a question or whatever. For a task up to an hour is 1,000 gold per hour.
okay? So it's a paid hotline. Okay.
Basically, yeah.
Call
Hey,
1-900 Planar Ally.
It's some tithing that actually gets you results.
I like it. I like it. Hello, how do I get past this Mario level? I need some help. Thanks.
You crouch
I
on
don't
the
So
know.
you
just
crouch
an
on the white
option that
block.
we. Yeah. Get the raccoon tail.
Oh. Okay. Then yeah, I would relay that to the group. Ben says that tomorrow he can do a different ritual, a different spell to get us more detailed information. Depending on how far we want to go with that, if we get any kind of greedy or curious about the relic specifics, it would cost us Menagerie some funds and magic materials. So just keep that in mind. But more detail, and as long as we're one big caravan, I think that could be very useful. How's the rest of the table feel? What did we set out today?
Why not? It's still early.
We're pretty well rested.
Yeah.
And we're in a
we can
hurry.
make some
Well,
good
not we're in a
progress.
hurry, but time is of the essence.
Yeah, especially if we're splitting all north then all south, potentially. Yeah. What did we order? Crepes? Have those come yet?
Some canapes.
What were those? Canapes. Canapes.
Did we get appetizers?
I need my
Yeah, we
app.
should totally be on this.
After a-
We
after a
have
quick
plenty of
snack,
time.
yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
So very well. It sounds like the consensus is the group will go north together and then split to.
Yeah. To the top two, I think. With Menagerie
well.
going farthest north, the other group going to the jungle side.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. And I'd be sure to gesture Ben over and point to him. So we'll go there. They'll go there. We'll be together part way. Would the caravan have an idea of a good place to maybe some back roads that are less explored or a little more stealthy? Takes a little longer. I think that's safer than taking a main road in some cases.
Well, there are some trails that link up to the previous townships, mostly hunter trails, trader trails that have just been eroded into the land over time. Beyond that, it's open, and to insert modern day reference, Savannah meets American open plains.
Yeah.
So
Alright.
So
there are
not-
trees, there are bushes, there are shrubs, but there is a lot of grassland.
Yeah, not like a lot of major elevation changes either.
Yeah, I think it would be in our interest to put in an extra day, maybe a little bit more, just to be on the safer side. These, I don't know how big these roaming bands of the path, the Sacrament are, but they don't seem like a good time. That was certainly a handful back in the village.
Well, it needs to be stressed that this is the furthest that they've ever traveled to the east, and it was the first time they even thought about raiding West Green.
Yeah, when they showed up, they showed up in force.
Uh,
There was
oh,
many tribes that have joined the pack over the years.
I've only really read, fairy tales and rituals. Speaking of the power of Thrisson days, so seeing something more than history and something like this unfold is a bit eye-opening. There's something linked to the day for them to push that far.
Oh, and that
Definitely.
aggressively.
Yes, that definitely was some answers.
And while we managed to defend and rout the majority of them, they did disappear just as quickly as they came. That is a concern. We have local militias and some of the Verdant Cause keeping eyes upon the woods to make sure that there are not encampments or any of their numbers lingering, but so far nothing. At least that's what I've gathered.
Well, I'm glad the cause are involved. At least we've met with them plenty of times, and they're more than sufficient. That's good to hear.
Well, Cled territory.
Mm-hmm. Glad to see even on the outskirts there, still willing to help. That's good.
Very well. We wrap up our meeting. We gather the wagons, caravans, and those that are fit and capable of travel shall take the. It's gonna be like 8 days or so to get to where you guys want to go.
So long.
It is a large space.
Yep. I mean, if you think about
Are
it, we
there
went from
any,
the very far east side of the map to, 2/3 of the way to the west side of the map in, what, 9-10 days? So, like...
Yeah.
Yeah. Are there any landmarks? Are we gonna get a little, can we keep our sanity along the way? Or is it all the same?
There's the beauty of nature.
Huzzah!
You will see some ruined and pillaged townships if that keeps you entertained.
That's something. Well, I guess, my vote menagerie is we still try and keep some kind of watch. I know it'll be easy to lose focus, but I don't trust these Badlands. Not with what we saw in West Green.
Agreed.
That's good. It is comforting to hear that you are not going to slack off. It looks like Ofuma and Yorn vetted you well.
Is there like money involved in this deal?
If we find anything, you can get a cut. Davis said your menagerie. He patted your back. That means you're in.
Yeah, it comes with its own prestige.
I wasn't asking for my cut. I was just curious.
We probably don't know the amount until we're done, but that's part of the job. It just you get used
You
to
didn't
it.
negotiate? Oh my amateur.
Deception. What's a negotiation? I never heard of that.
So,
Very foreign concept to me.
Opal will say, well, there are some agreements about if you find something of value that is not
something that the museum would want.
Exactly. That you are welcome to consider that payment.
That'll certainly be a long conversation. I'm sure something will come up.
Of course.
But it's so cool. Ugh. Cross that bridge
I mean,
when we
if
get
it's
to it.
yeah, if it's that cool, we're gonna have to look at it first.
Yeah, but of
Actually.
course.
Oh. Alright. Well, with that, is there anything else you guys need to discuss at the table?
Have a good one, Opal.
I mean, they'll be traveling with us now, so.
Well,
I'm still waiting for my
Oh.
mozzarella sticks. Don't leave without me.
alright.
Did somebody order wings?
I didn't, but I'll take them.
Along with
Everybody's
the...
like playing like we're watching all the servers come out of the double doors. Like,
Wait,
is
see if
that
it's-
ours?
Is that us? Is that
Is
us?
that ours?
Ah, damn it!
Oh fuck! Damn it!
It's been like 7 minutes. I'm hungry.
Okay. With an agreement upon where you guys will venture. Rafa will say, well, I'll just be staying here and trying to recover. Vesson and Tane will head with you north, but then they will venture off and continue keeping eyes within the pact territory.
Thanks. Yep, sounds good.
Excellent. So you will be traveling north. The ruins there are relatively exposed, though the pact seems to not venture too close to them. There are columns of white marble and that reach high into the sky. The team there is exploring the various structures and trying to decipher the glyphs and languages that have been left behind. That would be your location.
Got it.
On that, the wagons will be supplied with enough resources to get you to your destinations. Right. With that, the meeting is essentially breaks apart, adjourned. You guys are able to eat what you need to eat, drink what you need to drink.
Nice.
Make whatever preparations you need to do to travel. You guys will be traveling with the other team up to a branching off point, which will likely be the destroyed settlement. I don't actually have a name for you. Let's
A wild sedge has appeared.
He's just indicating
That's
that
where the
he
temple
is
is.
always. Well, it's a lot closer. Which is Pebble and him would be like right on top of each
True.
other. So. Hill bottom. Oh, that's why you don't see it. I'm writing on the wrong layer. Yeah.
Where is the goods?
So you guys will likely split off at Hill Bottom. And that will be 1, 2, 3.5 days of travel in, and then the group will head
we go
north. And
west along the Mason Fair first, and then head north, or
you could take a direct route. There are smaller trails.
Okay.
But as mentioned, there's hunter paths and cut trails of just different trades amongst the little. So essentially look at it as like you're taking a diagonal.
Got it.
So you'd be diagonal, diagonal.
Yep.
I think I have a polygon tool. Polygon. Let's do this.
Something like that.
Yeah, I was gonna do like this, then this, and this, and then Menagerie.
If you're drawing on the wrong
What?
layer again, maybe. I don't know. We don't see it.
I saw the
I-
green, but then it
The green
vanished.
was mine. Green was mine. Yeah.
I probably have to confirm it. That's annoying. Okay, so
Oh yeah, we
does
said
that
blue. Yeah.
confirm it? Yeah.
Nice.
So that would be probably the route that you guys take, and then.
And then, if possible, it sounds like it's probably better to avoid the jungle. Like maybe go around it to go north. Like we would break here. Like let them go in, and we would go around. Maybe.
Yeah.
It sounds like the jungle's kind of nasty.
I like that.
Or do we want to go? Are we going to that place or the one that we're going to Davis?
We're going to Davis, but
Yeah.
it's like, do we break left or right or breaking
Well,
through?
my thing is, if we go like we're talking about, we could just go to Cielo then Davis.
Well, that's Cielo is what the other group's doing.
Oh, okay, never mind. I missed that part. So we're going to do Carros and then Davis.
Well, we could do that. Well,
so
I
one
would say we
group-
go Davis and then Karos, but either way.
That in my vote
Well,
as
my
well.
my
for,
only thing about
stability.
that is if they notice us going past, we don't want to alert them to be able to send out notifications to any of the other locations that hey, there's people out here fucking around.
Right. So after Hill Bottom, we'd have to be super secretive if we want to go all the way to the Davis furthest points.
Well, the
'Cause,
thing that you
yeah,
guys
doubling back is bad if they know we're there.
you could do potentially is from Hill Bottom, go like something like. Wait, it's got the wrong color.
I imagine the wagons have like all the table heads together at some for like the first day or two, just like, but what if we do this? No, you're gonna get us all fucking killed. No, what do we? Okay, what about that? Ben,
But
you
that's-
got any more answers?
It's also assuming that Hill Bottom doesn't have anybody in place that's spying for them.
True.
So these are not actual towns, right? These are former towns. These are like ruins.
They are no longer inhabited, sacked,
Right.
pillaged. However you want to look at
Oh,
I mean, that doesn't mean
So
they're
that's
not going to
across the
control
board.
it, but
it. Potentially, but
They can still
you
hide
see,
there.
so to understand, what is on the map is not considered pack territory. This is the places that they've hit. They stay
Gotcha.
further to the west. That's
Right.
why it's this map. This map is lands that are still within Cled and open fields neutral territory. There will be another map should you guys decide to cross over
okay.
and go into the Crimson Expanse, the Blood Fields, the all that stuff.
So aside from like some roving patrols, it shouldn't be considered too treacherous to be out and about here.
No, I mean wildlife is still wildlife.
Right. Sorry, I meant from the pack itself.
Yeah, like you could still run into something, but
Right.
it's more of like once you guys get, that's one group, and then y'all's group would probably be something like, I don't know, cut across.
We got
and from
options.
here, go like that maybe. I don't know.
I definitely make sure we don't leave without bringing the map along with us in the wagons. There'll be a lot of pointing and
I mean, I
conversing.
can make a copy of the map.
Yo, my man.
3.5 days to Hill, and then so it's 5 days until you guys split up.
Yeah,
Essentially.
makes sense.
If
Really
I
tight.
understand the route that you guys were talking about, because I think that's kind of what you said.
I think that looks good.
Yeah, so it's 5 days of traveling together.
Can I make
And
it
then it's
also
another
5
day-
days of working with Ben and Allegretto on this cool sing-songy language that I am taking a liking to?
Yes.
Okay.
And at the next sleep, I would definitely swap out comprehend languages for
Tongues.
tongues. Thank you.
Gotcha.
And
Shit.
Adam, I will be when I get a chance, kind of investigating this book I found.
The Tome of the Librum of Failed Redemption.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay. Let's do a couple quick of that, and then we'll go ahead and call it for the evening. So, for the sake of travel, do you guys want to track every day, or do you guys want to fast travel to points?
Probably
I
fast
feel like
travel.
I feel like fast travel with a little bit of
I'm cool with
RP.
fast travel.
That's fine.
I feel
With
like
a
we got
little
most
bit
of
of
it out of the
RP
way.
too.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can do
maybe
that a
like
little bit.
one or two question sessions with Ben.
Yeah, that's fine. So we'll break it up into different parts. So the first 3 days. So from this morning, from West Green heading to Hill Bottom. Can I get someone just in general? I'm just gonna name a name. Just be ready to roll. So Al, roll me a d6.
D6. Oh, wow.
Don't fuck up.
Fucked up.
Okay.
That's fine.
So the traveling for the first 3 days, relatively smooth. There are no real signs of any of the pack. Wildlife is out. There are quite a bit of clouds covering the trails. At some points during the first 3 days, there are some light showers, but nothing to slow down the expedition, and nothing to deter you guys moving forward.
I would look at the clouds in a paranoid fashion to see if there's any dragon shapes in them, but otherwise, be helping out with the planning effort. No.
Alright, so for the first 3 days, any type of RP or anything you guys would to exchange?
Just the
And I
language
know
stuff.
Ben, you're looking at the book. Okay, so for give me 3 days. So give me 3 wisdom checks.
Okay, proficiency or not? Probably not, right?
Not yet.
Okay, makes sense.
And anytime I can be involved, over 3 days, I'd be casting tongues at least an hour each day.
Okay.
Help out.
Got it.
Contribute a little bit.
Cool.
Oh, sorry. Add 1 to all of those, and the 20 is a natural 20. So 4, 21,
Okay,
and 16 with 20 with a natural 20.
Got you. A 1 is a natural 20. Okay. You start picking up. You can put down that you can speak Celestial in the way that Ben speaks Common.
Oh, okay. I like it.
So you're picking it up. So Ben, on the first 3 days, what are you doing with the book?
Well, I'm gonna first try to see if I can figure out how to open it because you said it was locked.
It's sealed in some way. Yep. Go ahead. So go ahead and as you take the tome out and you look at the metal cage around it, and again, I guess it's a cage. It's not like a cage that's keeping it shut. It's like a design kind of on it. You're looking for a complicated mechanism to open it, and it's simple. It's quite literally you just push down on one of the metal tabs and it lets go, and the tome opens.
Okay.
Not difficult. So, with that, you have opened up the tome, and in it is scripted in Celestial. It is it's written in like the way I want to explain it is for modern day reference, it's like as if it was written in cursive. Like it's Celestial, you can kind of read it, but it takes a moment to kind of understand what they're writing because it's written slightly different.
Okay.
What are you looking? Are you just perusing? Are you reading? Are you?
Well, just because I know some tomes can have defenses, and
Okay.
I'm going to, cautiously open it and kind of glance at the first couple of pages just so I can kind of see if I get a gist of what it is, what it's about. Is this is this like someone's memoirs, or is this actually like a,
Okay. Understood.
trying to figure out what it is to begin with because I have no idea.
All right. Okay. So as you're reading, this is you see that the way that this book is assembled, that there are different types of pages in here. This was not all one book at one point. Pages were added, pages were removed. The parchments and the vellums up at the front are newer than what is in the back. And then essentially the landing page, the intro, states that between the bindings of this librum are the names and cases of numerous failed entities imprisoned, held, bound, kept from the light.
Okay. Does it seem like it's written like by different authors? Is it first person, third person?
Yeah, so as you're kind of flipping through some of it, yeah, there's different types of hand scripts through here. There's different notes, drawings, depictions.
So is it like a personal account of what happened, or is it someone writing about someone that they knew?
As you're kind of reading through it, it's entries of different entities written by different people.
So it's like a journal or diary or something, a memoir or something of that nature.
Or a ledger, maybe.
Okay, got it.
A logbook.
Okay. So once I figure out that it doesn't seem like it's going to harm me, I will, when I'm not helping Davis learn Celestial or doing anything else, I'm just kind of riding around the wagon. I will read the stories.
Very well.
Starting from the front, working my way back.
Oh boy. Okay, I haven't thought of that in detail. But yeah, as you're reading through some of them, and you'll see, like, again, that the book in its sorting. You haven't figured out the method of sorting or how the information is presented. Is it chronological? Is it alphabetical? Like that hasn't, that type of tracking hasn't, or that type of management hasn't made sense to you yet as you're trying to read through it. But one of the first ones that you stories that you read is on an individual that is referred to as Karakoram, Kara, Karakoram, Karakorum. And what you can gather is they were encountered after a battle along the central coast with dozens of dismembered individuals laughing in glee at the carnage. Subject never sought redemption. Shackled in captivity, perished in chains. Remains turned to ash under the morning sun's pyres.
Okay.
That's the first entry that you're able to get through.
Cool. Or morbid, but cool.
No. All right. Anyone else doing anything on the 3 days?
Is the so did we split up already, or
Nope.
or okay.
You guys are on the blue line. You guys are traveling. So blue line is togetherness. Purple line is where you split. Green line is your path.
Gotcha.
So 3 days to Hillbottom.
Okay. Yeah, then I would probably chat with the Tricrene gal a bit.
14.
14, yeah. Just to see, kind of ask her some stuff like, when's the last time she's been back in the Pride Lands area, how long she's been, where she's been traveling.
Well, she would say it's been a few years for sure. I've been my movements have been restricted based on my services and making up for well, and she doesn't know how to say it well, for making up for her mistakes.
How did you find yourself in the service of this group?
Well, I tried to. How do I put this? I was hired to dispatch of someone, and I failed.
Oh.
And as part of my sentencing, the leadership stepped in and took me under his wing as long as I agreed to live by his restrictions for a time.
Pretty generous considering I mean, not to say that taking a life in and of itself is unthinkable. I'm sure it would be hard to find a person here who hasn't had to fight for their lives, but usually when you're doing that killing for pay and that you're not a part of an army, I suppose there's plenty of folks who are, well, going to stop you if you fail, or if you're seen. He kind of probably a little awkward there, just because he did not know how to. Unexpected, and then just not.
It's.
I guess maybe surprised, and maybe it makes him think internally a little bit, like, wow. I mean, I guess as long as you're told to pay, told to kill a person, and you're being paid by somebody that society deems as good, that's not much different from what we've been doing. We've just been fighting the monsters, quote unquote.
The visible monsters. Understood. Part of my past is necessarily, well, like many that you cross in this line, I believe falls under the term unsavory. So, well, let's just say, the one that has vouched responsibility for me is the person that I am making up to with my services. So
I'll nod to that. Just kind of. Yeah, I think he would just kind of in that particular day maybe just switch small talk to where they've been, anything interesting, and then kind of like he probably finds himself a little drawn to just chatting with another person. We've met one or two folks from my area, my neck of the woods, but not always a time to
discuss and chat.
Kill, right? It's usually like, well, we're in the middle of exploring ruins or going down whatever, so yeah, just kind of.
Go ahead and give me a charisma check. If you have proficiency in it's not necessarily persuasion, right? But if you have proficiency in one of the charisma skills, you can use proficiency with it. If not, then it's just straight charisma.
Let's see. I don't think so.
Not intimidation, maybe?
No, not even intimidation.
Yeah.
Alright, let's just do
See how open up. Okay, she does pretty much open up pretty well. Okay, so 16 with no bonuses, or
that's well 17 total
17 total. Okay,
with bonus.
so yeah, so 14. You get the sense that 14. It's not necessarily that like you and her have a lot in common, but there is enough there, where it's more easy for her to open up.
Maybe just talking and discussing mannerisms that are, the things that maybe from our youth that we don't see around here, or the way people act and behave. Like you said, it's not necessarily that we bumped into each other and maybe not even had close interactions with either of our peoples, other than just in passing, but people from an area can just talk about the things they remember from a home that they haven't been in for a long time, and food and
just like the general landscape, the animals that are about, the common landmarks. Like you'll bring up a landmark and she'll actually know what you're talking about. She'll do the same. But
9
stories. Yeah, over the course of those 3 days, she will at one point, because you got a 17 total, she will kind of tell you a little bit more on the details of like her punishment, in a sense. And 14 is not her name. 14 is essentially like her
body count.
Years of service. No, it's like her years of service. So she's basically bound to be not a sellsword, but essentially a sellsword, because I don't know the right term for it. She is to fight for the Unveilers by law, and it is basically her making up for her attempted assassination on Afuma. So,
does she say who I won't pry, but just if she brings up if she knows, like, was it somebody you've worked for a long time? Was it just another job? Or were they kind of set it up like, hey, you could go get this guy, and then you're like, oh fuck, I didn't know you were you.
It was, she'll say, well, there was some understanding of who the mark was, but never maybe the degree of context that revealed him to be someone as well guarded and of importance. She'll indicate that it's basically, she knew that Ofuma was ahead of something, but not of what. And the people that reached out to her, that hired her to do the work, knew her from stories about her exploits in her past. And they had her track him down and attempt to engage him, but they did not realize, like, they understood Ofuma to a percent. They didn't understand the degree that the iceberg went under. So they thought Ofuma was person X, where he was really person X, Y, and Z. And they were well over their heads.
Gotcha.
And for reasons or whatnot, Ofuma vouched for her, picked her up, and managed to persuade whatever authorities to charge her as essentially, I don't know, like she's like a proxy to the Unveilers.
Sure.
highly restricted. And that's what we're dealing with.
Okay.
So,
Just,
she
like,
will.
the last thing I'm curious about is just if she explains, is 14 like the sentence, or is 14 like next year she'll be called 15 or 13 as it like
Exactly.
counts up or down?
Yeah.
It will be down to 13.
A long road ahead.
Yes, but I have already seen much, and I realize how small the viewpoint of the fields are from the Pride Land. The world is much larger, there are many secrets, and I am certain that most of everyone that we will encounter at some point is but, to use that expression, the tip of the iceberg.
I can understand that.
Well, but yes, based on everything, I was 14 more years. I am permitted to walk free as long as I am with assigned to a member of the Unveilers of a certain rank, and they are my stewards, and I am to act as their protector, and I am to throw my life away if needed. And I am okay with these terms. So, and as mentioned, if you ever wish to hone your blades or whatever as we travel together, I'll go easy on you. She grins.
He'll smile at that. I appreciate it. I think I could use this, a light sparring match, a warm up to the things that may come, if you will. So yeah, so then he'd probably, maybe not all the time, but well, unless she just like completely whoops my ass, but yeah, I need to recover. But yeah, he would maybe meet up for when we make camp for the day or something.
Gotcha. So just to spend a little bit more time on her, 14 is interesting. 14, because of know your enemy, I'm not going to make you, do anything too crazy. But 14 definitely has many, many levels in fighter. She is essentially a samurai class. Very precise, very quick, very lethal. And something that you get to appreciate is that she definitely knows how to take advantage of her nature. She uses her forearms, and she uses her long jumping capabilities, and she is very difficult to pin down. Definitely surprises you, especially the first few times that you guys playfully, I should say, cross swords, air quotes. So yeah, very capable.
Cool.
With that, if that's it for the first 3.5 days, as unless somebody speaks up, as you guys,
I have a one sentence. The
Sure.
same way from Carver to Whitlaw, I practiced teleport, and after 2 days, I was like, Davis, I think I got it down. Do you want to give it a shot? But since it's not a 7th level spell slot, it's 5th. I'd have more than 2 practice tries. At night when we're camping, I'd try teleport circle instead.
Okay.
Do you note that it
But
does use components every time you cast
It does consume.
I think it's
chalks, yes.
50.
50 gold
Is
is the
chalk?
chalk and stuff, yeah.
So I'd get 5 from the mortar and pestle. I'd borrow that, and then the other 45. Okay, I practice it maybe twice in those 2 days.
That's hey,
Third
that's
time, Davis.
So
Sure.
chalk is, yeah, you can definitely create chalk with the mortar.
That's 5 by 5.
Um,
I owe 135 after that. Sheesh.
so
Again,
what are you trying to do? What are you trying to accomplish with your
first circle at the
practice?
ground. So this does get to be like an owl circle, right? It's just
So
temporary,
yeah,
and I
so
get to go
you're not
to
making
it.
a permanent circle. You are connecting to a circle, and currently you only know of one other circle.
Mm-hmm. So that it would be I would draw a similar circle in a different spot each day. It's not, I would learn quickly like, okay, I want to be intricate, I want to be different, but this is a lot of work, so I'm gonna simplify it over time. Um, and I believe he'd make the circle and then step away a bit and then teleport to it. Anyway, circles, create a permanent circle to high levels.
So the circle essentially becomes the doorway that connects
Within the
to the Court
circle.
of Stars. So you have to understand. So the circle that you're creating,
So it's one half of the door.
yes,
Okay.
links up with another circle.
With the
And the
permanent
only
spot.
symbol that you know, yes, the only symbol that you know is the one for the Court of Stars.
I think that's
So
my best bet. I think I would probably blast casting time 1 minute, duration 1 round. That sounds like 6 seconds where I just kind of poke my head and be like, "Hey guys, I'm just every day. Bye."
But it's a one-way teleport, I think. I don't think you can go back through it.
Shimmering portal with any surgery.
you can toss something through there if you want. You know,
I think it has to be creatures, right? I'm not sure. Let me check.
I like if you wanted to toss a stone with a wrapped paper message telling the Court of Stars not to freak out, I'll allow it. You know, it's like
That's
it's me.
that's cool.
Menagerie
It's like, hey, it's
XOXO.
Owl. It's got a really shitty picture of Owl waving.
I think that's fine.
So it does look one way, yeah. Sheesh.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're
Yeah,
you're
if
opening the
you-
floodgate one direction.
Abominations beyond my comprehension. I'll put a rock in there.
Wait, not rock, not
yeah,
rock, not rock. Oh, rock.
Oh, lowercase r. My bad.
R-O-C-K.
Buddy, come back. Oh no. Then yeah, if you'd allow it, the paper message wrapped around a lowercase r rock would be fantastic.
Okay. Yeah. So you
Then
you
if that is
draw
the
the
case,
temporary.
I'd only do it 2 days in a row.
Okay. You draw the temporary circle. You finish it off by in the center of it you actually do put the glyph that you have memorized, which represents the circle of stars. Which again, at some point, if you want to, as Corbin, you want to draw one up and make a canon what that symbol is, feel free.
Yo.
Think math magical, right? So it can
Yeah.
be simple, or it can be complex, or it can be whatever,
Hit
abstract.
up
Whatever.
Mid-Journey, y'all.
Yeah, maybe. But when you finish that final stroke and that last bit of then you snap the remainder of the chalk, and the chalk crumbles and the dust kind of falls upon it. Based on the words that you're saying, and the feel and color of your magic, there is that musical humming as the energy builds up, and this very very white, over white exposed teal light begins to swell, which then shifts to that pinkish fuchsia color that you are so associated with.
Yes.
And the symbol in the center, the glyph, begins to rupture, and you see as it ruptures, it fills out the circle, and then it almost looks like a fuchsia pond, and you throw the rock in there, boop, and then it closes, and there's no rock where you threw it. The circle vanishes. Yeah, and where the circle vanishes, even the chalk vanishes, the effect vanishes, and it's just this very faint, as if when you actually go to a blackboard and you erase chalk and there's that streaks. It's almost like there's just streaks left behind.
Okay.
So.
That leads into the 2 things I had to follow up with. When I get close to finishing the circle on the first day, I'd probably call Rock and Davis over, to be like, look, I think I figured it out. I got a couple more lines to draw. Come check this out. I'd let them be 10 feet away, while I do it. The circle itself would probably be 100 plus feet away from camp, since it is a sigil of something confidential. Yeah, I do it far away, secluded, and then after the fact, even if it is kind of clouded and somewhat erased, I would still try to damage it or clean it up a little bit afterwards.
Go ahead and give me a dexterity arcana check as you're
Ooh.
smudging it up.
So it's half frequency and okay. Rounded down?
Down.
I'm gonna let you that
If you don't mind.
You have them for a reason.
It's a new day.
Should be plus
That's
That's
better.
fine.
6.
Yeah. Should we, plus, yeah, because it's...
3 and...
3.
Oh, it's
yeah,
rounded
my
up.
dex.
Yes.
My dex is 3. Okay, yeah. 22. Thank you.
Yeah. You're confident that there's no evidence left behind. I mean, even if someone were to walk by and they would just see the smudge, it just kind of looks like, maybe like a large water buffalo sat down and then had dragged its legs as it was getting up. It's
Nice.
just definitely undistinguishable. No. Nope, you've successfully linked to the quarter stars. You think, because there was no rock with paper left on the ground.
Hello. Thanks for watching, guys. I guess we need to find a way to communicate back with them to make sure they got the message, but I'm feeling pretty good about it. I mean, it's less complicated than the snappy one, I think. I'm pretty sure. We'll figure out when the time comes. Let's get back to camp.
Rock will say, "Okay, that was pretty neat. I'll probably spend a little time working on my disaster of a spell. So you guys go back without."
Anything I can help with, let me know.
Do you want to be a target so I can focus?
Maybe not. Well,
you're not supposed to agree to this. This is dangerous.
If you give me overnight, I can learn Shield. I can try to remember how that shit works. Make up a song for Shield and be like, and then I'm suddenly, maybe can take a hit.
Right. Maybe tomorrow night then.
That magical feast. I'm still feeling pretty great with that. I think I can take a blow.
Even though it's long.
Yeah, it faded 2 days ago.
Oh wait, I need to mark the calendar. Shit. So this would be.
I got phantom buffs. You can't stop me.
Yeah, 1 second. So you guys.
I remember what it felt like.
1, 2. So it's. Yeah. So now 3 days later. So far you're here. All right. Here we go. So you guys are.
Al would wholeheartedly agree, even if it is like a joke or like a don't do it. He'd be like, yeah, me or I make minor illusions. We can make some kind of field, some kind of target illusion stuff. I'm in. Yeah, we can figure it out.
Excellent. So, perfect. So, Al, Rock will take you up on that sometime. I'm sure.
My circle costs a few gems, so I can't practice that all night, unfortunately.
He's like, well, luckily what I'm trying to do is meant to be quick.
I like quick.
All right. So 3.5 days.
To do it.
This one's uses some of my physicality to my unique anatomy to let me do what I want to do. If you ever want to grow a shell and learn to tuck in, then we can get talking.
I'll disguise self so I look like Rock, but I've got my horns still. Close enough? Probably not.
If you can make the visual solid, close enough. It gives you a grinning thumbs up.
Tries to pat me on the shoulder and it just phases through. Yeah.
All right. So, 3.5 days, you camp out at Hill Bottom for the night. What once was a moderate-sized village out here, seemingly aptly named as at the base of some of the hills, utilize the natural terrain from what you can gather to be a hunter's lodge location, as well as just a natural gathering point. And there's just nothing. Buildings, what does remain of some buildings are just singular walls, forgotten over the years. There are signs of individuals' bones, horses' bones, animal bones strewn about, as some of those animals and people that were killed here never did get a proper burial, and they've been picked clean by the various animals that feed on carrion. And now the bones are long sun-bleached. Where many of the buildings once stood, you do see that nature does come to reclaim all, and amongst the what was stonework or simple mud bricks, greenery is growing, and yeah, it's basically like a modern day ruins. And with that, because it's almost 1:30, we will go ahead and call it as we pick up next session, as you guys are traveling for 2.5 more days before you splinter the party.